and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Ormark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And today we are looking at the Poppy suite. The painted poppies is absolutely lovely and I've done a few things with that. But today we're looking at the dies, which is the Poppy Moments dies. And they create the most amazing, beautiful poppies. And we are going to do something fairly straightforward and simple, but it looks very effective. So people who haven't got lots of different coloured cardstocks and things, you can do this relatively easily. So we're just going to die cut out the large poppy. You can do it with any of the poppies, so you can do it with the smaller one as well. And with that, we are then going to, while it is in the die, we're going to take, I'm using Rich Raspberry because I really like the colours in Rich Raspberry. And we are going to, while it's in the die, we are going to colour it through. So fairly straightforward and simple. I'm not doing anything too complicated with it. I'm just going to colour it through, giving quite a bit of space. If it goes across onto your die, as it will a little bit, then just wash the die off in some soapy water straight away afterwards, and it won't affect the die or putting it through. The colour will come off relatively easily. But it's a really easy, simple way of getting a beautiful poppy, and exactly the same as we can emboss in white on the actual painted poppies with the stamped images. You can do exactly the same thing with this, and you're going to have your white border background. So I'm now taking the light and I'm literally just colouring in over the top, and you can see you don't have to be particularly overly fussy with this. Just literally just go through on your edges right the way through. I turn it round purely because it makes it easier for me to colour, and I'm not putting my hand through the die, but just literally take it all the way round. And just do the last one. Like that. Okay, then I have taken the inside piece and I've die cut that out. Again, I've done it in white. I've done it in heavy whisper white because only it just gives a little bit of extra on it. And this time I'm using we have got black blends. I don't have them, but I have our Stampin' Right markers. So all I'm doing is colouring this in. It means that if you haven't got lots of different coloured cardstock, you can do the whole thing with white and you just colour it in. So it means that you can die cut a large amount of these images out of your white cardstock, and just by colouring it in, you give a totally different look each time. So I'm literally just taking through these pieces in on the ends like this. So it's a fairly quick process, and that's going to be our centerpiece. So I can put that just out to one side. Well, I just haven't done the very center of this. I can just see just on there. I haven't taken it, so didn't turn it round properly. Okay, so that's our centerpiece. Then we just need a scrap of cardstock. It can be any colour. I've literally just got a piece of old scrap, and what we need to do is take your pick, but you can do anything to pop the images out of the dies, and you're going to pop the images straight onto your work surface in position, because if you do it in position, it means that it's very simple to then put it straight into your image. So we'll take that out there. So those are our pieces, and then we can just release the die, and this gives us our white frame which is the same as if we'd embossed it if we were stamping it. So it's giving a rather nice white border with the coloured image inside. Let me just release this from the centre. There we go. It's quite a beautiful detailed little die. So we can put that out to one side, and as I say, I will wash this one later. Let's put that back. So I am going to take this and literally just with some wet glue adhere this to my piece of scrap paper. The paper can be any colour you want, whatever you've got to scrap with. You can even use copy paper. It really doesn't matter. All you're doing is giving it something to adhere to and to add your little pieces inside. So just take that round like that, and then we can just stick it in on there. Just smooth it round on the edges so it's sticking down nicely. Then what I do is I take the wet glue and literally just put some wet glue inside on all of these pieces that are showing, because by doing it that way it makes it easier to stick the pieces in rather than having to worry about sticking the back of those pieces. You can use sticky sheets if you want to, but I am just going to take this piece. Now this should be the first piece. You can see the sort of flowery piece on there, so this one is going to go in on here. Is it that one? I think it is. Yes, it is. Okay, so you just put it in, and then literally you can pick up each piece one at a time and just put them carefully into place. Now you can use your take your pick tool if you want to just get those little tiny pieces in if they're not going straight. They normally go in relatively easily because you're just following the shape, and you can feel once it's gone into its little sort of socket, as it were. And then let's take this piece at the bottom. And you can obviously do it in whatever colour tones you want. You can be as flamboyant as you want, as intricate as you want, because all you're doing is colouring in the inside, and with it being in the die, it means that it's very easy to work with. So we'll just take this little last piece in here and put that one in, make sure it's gone into its space, and having the wet glue it's relatively easy to use. And then we can just smooth that down. Then our little black piece will do exactly the same. But it does mean that you can take out of one sheet of your cardstock, just white cardstock, you can cut a whole pile of these die cuts and then do them in whatever colour you want. So I'm going to have this one with this little piece up in here on the side. So we'll just put that in on the centre like that. And then you can very easily with your scissors just cut round. Now I'm going to do this very quickly. You would spend a little bit more time, but I just want to show you what they look like once they're cut out. And then you've got this really lovely coloured image, but with a nice white border running all the way round. So it does look really rather nice. And I know that a lot of you are subscribers to my channel, which is fantastic. I would encourage anybody who's coming on who hasn't subscribed to subscribe, because next week I will be doing some more with these poppies, and we're going to be using something which I don't use very often, but we're going to be using some vellum. And we're going to be doing some cards and some poppies and things using some vellum accents as well. So that's something that I'm hoping to give you some ideas on that, which will be a little bit different. So let's take something which is dark that we can put it on, And you can see it really does stand out with the white border. Absolutely beautiful. There's another one that I did earlier on, which has had a good time to dry. I've done these ones in Highland Heather, which are the smaller ones. And there was another one that I did. But you can see you get an absolutely beautiful colour tone just by using white cardstock and using some blends and a Stampin' Right marker to give all your colours that you need. So thank you so much for watching me. Do look forward to seeing you again. Bye-bye.